You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Weddings in the News, Spring 2018, episode number 167.
Take a second, pause, and subscribe to the show. Share us with your friends. Join us on our Facebook group. You can find us on Facebook. It's called From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community. We are having great fun over there. We are sharing fun stuff, answering questions, asking questions, conversing with our wedding planning people. It's a really fun time. So join us if you can.
Right.
You can click the link right here in the show notes, which is either on your podcast app or you can find them at fromringtoveil.com/167. Click that link that says Facebook group and it'll take you straight there. Answer a couple questions. Join us. You'll love it. This episode brought to you by Appycouple, the most stylish way to share your wedding. You choose your design, then tell your story. Add and edit photos of your life together from the beginning.
Choose your tribe, your maids, and men. Lay out all the events and details to organize everyone easily.
When, where, childcare, weather, and how to get there.
Your guests can join in on the website and your very own app. From reading your stories to adding their own photos. And of course, you have veto power.
They can get all the event details to the ones that they are invited to. They can also start and join conversations. They can find links to your registries.
Available for Apple and Android devices. Go to fromringtoveil.com/appy. That's fromringtoveil.com/appy. Every once in a while, we like to give you updates on wedding news. Things we find on the internet that we might think you want to know about. And that's what today's episode is.
Things that are interesting and kind of make you question what's going on sometimes. And we're talking about the royal wedding today. Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
And my cutie ginger, Harry. He's so cute.
All right.
Sorry.
And she's so cute too. So they're going to be cute together. Going to make really cute kids, I'm sure. So the first thing that we have on our little list here is man-gagement rings. Shannon, what are man-gagement rings?
They're engagement rings for your fiancé.
Duh. I'm just kidding.
This was brought to light. Ed Sheeran had a ring on, and everybody thought he was married. Okay. He had a ring on his left ring finger. And are you married? Did you secretly get married to your girlfriend? He goes, no, but we are in a committed relationship. She has an
They're engaged.
Yes, they're engaged. And, she has an engagement ring. She wanted to give him one. He's wearing a man-gagement ring.
Yeah.
Which one of our people on our Facebook group says that is a stupid term. Just saying.
Well, it's an engagement ring, but for a man. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
it's funny. It's a funny word. That's why I like it.
And it was kind of confusing because I posed this question on our Facebook group. So remember, go check it out. They're like, what are management rings?
That's what it looks like.
I didn't, highlight man. I just wrote it out. I just typed it out. And they're like, oh, man-gagement rings.
That's hilarious. I think it's a good idea, especially if, when a woman is wearing an engagement ring, it kind of takes her off the market. The guys know she's getting married. Well, what does a man have? Right? There's no indication that he's engaged, that he's going to be getting married, other than him telling you. I think that's just fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything fancy. It could just be a little...
Right. So I found this article on theatlantic.com. It's an archived article from 2014. Okay. So it's kind of way back there. And it's called Rise of the Man-Gagement Ring. So this was back in 2014. So I guess we're kind of behind the times here.
Yeah. Why are we just now hearing about it then?
I guess so because Ed Sheeran ordered one and everybody started talking about one.
There you go. So
apparently, back in the 1920s, the jewelry industry kind of made an attempt to market bling for men pre-wedding. So they wanted to start doing this trend. It didn't hold out very well because, in the 1920s, women were still there, but not really outspoken or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really go over very well.
I can imagine so. Yeah, I can imagine so. And even still to this day, some men don't even wear rings. So
Right.
it just...
My husband does it.
It just depends on the person, of course. If you can get them to wear a man-gagement ring, I think awesome. Right?
Yeah, because it says here, the groom's wedding band wasn't a given until the 1940s or 1950s.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So what do you guys think about man-gagement rings? Is that something you would even want your fiance to be wearing? Or what do you think? Would he even wear it? I know Eric doesn't like to wear jewelry. He does wear a wedding ring, but that's it. He's not. I don't know if I could have gotten him to wear a man-gagement ring. You know?
Yeah. So here's what some of our listeners say on our community page. Anyone who wants to wear a ring should wear one. Anyone who doesn't shouldn't. And thank you, Alexis, for that.
Mm-hmm.
My future husband wanted to buy his band and wear it now.
I totally get that.
Mm-hmm. We are going to get him a silicone ring to start wearing before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The silicone thing seems to be the most popular choice.
Yeah, it does. And it's easy. You know, you can change it out into whatever color matches your mood or your outfit that day.
Right. So thanks, Casey, for that. Let's see. Leanna said, I would say that that's a couple-to-couple decision. My fiance will be wearing a silicone ring 90% of the time. So for me, I feel like he would already have his ring while I will not. My engagement ring isn't real. I had a ring designed and it won't get here till the day of.
Oh, that's unique though. I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get your all new stuff. And and Mandy says her fiance is also already wearing a silicone band. So yeah, I think that's a trend that's happening now, and that's I think
and they're inexpensive.
Yeah, they are, and even the woman can wear that too.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are some people like like nurses who sometimes can't wear metal jewelry but can wear the silicone rings, and they're doing
like
that.
Chefs, people in the kitchen. Craftsmen people, tradespeople don't want to get their wedding band messed up. So
Absolutely. I think that's such a great idea. So I guess man-gagement rings are here to stay.
Yeah, maybe. It could just be a fad.
That's Shannon's prediction is maybe. All right. Next on to the royal wedding.
We know the royal wedding is going to be on May 19th. And so here's a few details that we found out. Prince Harry custom designed Meghans Ring, and it includes some special sentiments. The center stone is from Botswana, where the two have visited in August. The two stones that flank the center stone are in honor of Prince Harry's mother.
Oh.
They are from the Princess Diana collection.
Now, does that mean they were her personal stones, or is
They
it
were probably in some kind of jewelry
that she
that was
had?
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
It was made by the court jewelers of Cleave and Company. There you go.
Fancy.
As I said, the wedding is on Saturday, May 19th, 2018, midday, London time. Here it'll be, daybreak.
Yeah.
At St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, where Prince Harry was christened.
Now, is this where they all usually get married?
No.
No, okay.
Some of them get Westminster Abbey, things like that.
What about the best man in the bridesmaids? Well, the Duke of Cambridge is expected to be Harry's best man. Maybe he'll take on the task jointly with one of Harry's friends. We just don't know yet, I think. It hasn't been released.
He says he's joked about that. He hasn't been asked yet, so.
We'll see.
And Prince George and cuteness of Princess Charlotte, are going to be the page boy and flower girl.
Page boy, not ring bearer?
Well, no. They have page boys.
Okay. Like the haircut. Because that's what I think of when I hear page boy. Hey, I was a hairdresser. What can I say? The siblings already know the score. They performed those roles at the wedding of Pippa Middleton. I was looking at those pictures and beautiful,
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
They're just the cutest little kids ever.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan, or I could say Mrs. Markle. You can't call her Meghan anymore. You have to call her Miss Markle.
Yeah, how does that work? She's an actress, too. So, how does that work?
May also choose some grown-up bridesmaids from her close set of friends. Canadian stylist Jessica Mulrooney, an Indian actress and philanthropist Priyanka Chopra, which I think was her co-star in her television series, The Suits. She was in Suits for a while.
Yeah, I watched that. I remember her in that.
They will also have new royal titles, as always. When a royal gets married, they have a new title. And Miss Markle will become Her Royal Highness and a senior royal after marrying Harry and joining with the Windsors.
Her Royal Highness.
She's expected to become a duchess as Kate Middleton. Okay, I have a question.
I don't know.
You know what I'm going to ask, right?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Why do they still call her Kate Middleton?
I don't know. Because she's not that.
She's not. She's married.
Yeah.
But are their last names Windsor?
I think so. Like, I think that's their official title. They probably have their own names, but then when they get married or whatever, they become the Windsors, right? I thought that's how that worked. And if we're wrong, please correct us. Let us know. We want to know.
I want to know why they still call her Kate Middleton. Anyway.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. So they're probably still going to call her
Miss
Meghan Markle. Yeah.
She is the Duchess of Cambridge.
True.
So they will most likely be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Is there not already one?
No.
Okay.
And it says traditional male members of the royal family receive a title from the monarch on their wedding day. The vacant title, Duke of Sussex, is regarded as the most likely choice for the prince.
Okay, there we go.
She will be Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. But how cool. I mean, how cool for an American girl to do this. And I totally do not understand how this works. I've not really even studied it. So...
Well, I mean, he's not used to, in medieval times and the Victorian era, they were always set up marriages.
True.
Of somebody who had royal lineage and things like that.
So cousins, yeah.
Shh.
As we know.
Yeah, as Victoria and Albert.
Yeah. There you go. That's how we learned about this stuff on TV.
Anyway, we love Victoria and Albert. But he's not the crown prince.
Right.
So they're like, I'll get married to whoever you want.
That's right. That's right. Well, was Kate and...
Well, she has, I think, down the line somewhere, but they've known each other forever.
Right. So did they choose each other or were they chosen for each other?
I think they chose each other.
Okay.
You just hope they chose each other.
Yeah. Well, it seems it's going pretty well from the outside anyway.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I'm not like following this with a fine-tooth comb and keeping notes and everything on it, but it's really interesting to see a new generation of royals marrying and starting families and stuff. Because I remember, so my mother-in-law, she was very into Diana. And so she knew everything about it, and I remember when she died and all that stuff, but I didn't know much about it. And now that I'm of an age that it's interesting to me.
It's just, it is. It's interesting how why we think this is awesome to talk about.
Well, it's so different from what we have here.
Yeah, I guess. Because they're so publicized. And
yeah. It's a whole thing. Generational thing. And here we don't have that. We don't have royals. It's just so different and interesting. So, okay. There you go. Royal party. Royal wedding info. Sorry. Royal wedding. There you go.
And, Prince Harry. He's just a cutie. Anyway.
Yeah, he seems really sweet. I've watched some videos of him.
He's a little wild, but of course he's kind of tamed that down. But
he is, but he's also really sweet, and they're both very smart. Both of those boys too. So that's cool. And I just feel like I think what if their mom had lived? What kind of guys would they be, and how sweet would that be with them getting married and all that stuff. I feel sad for them that they don't have their mom. And I know this happens to people all over the earth. They lose their parents and they're not there for their wedding. But I just, she was so well loved and well known that it's kind of sad she's not there. But then I also wonder, do they get to register for their wedding presents as royals? What do you think?
Probably not.
No?
They
How
get
sad.
they get diplomatic gifts.
They get to be Duke and Duchesses of something. But still, you would think that's a fun part of getting married and your wedding, getting to register.
Yeah, can you imagine former President Obama giving, hey, here's a crystal vase.
Why not? That just makes sense to me. And on that note, let's take a second to hear from our sponsor.
Zola.com.
If you go to zola.com/FRTV, you can get a $50 credit towards your registry. We've talked about them before. You know we love them.
Zola Registry has everything that you love about your favorite department store, plus things like honeymoon funds, fitness classes, wine subscriptions, and so much more.
Right. And it's free and it's easy to use. How nice would that have been? And how fun would that have been to just be able to go to a website like Zola?
And click instead of going around with that little gun everywhere.
Yeah.
Or the person trailing behind you with a piece of paper because, back then.
Right.
It's less stressful and very much more enjoyable.
That's right. They have group gifting. It's a feature that lets multiple guests contribute to a big gift. Like you pick something big and let's say somebody can't afford the whole thing, but they can put money towards it and somebody else can put money towards it. I love that.
You can also personalize your registry with photos and notes about what you really need, what you want. And it also has a free suite of wedding planning tools, including free websites.
That is one of the number one reasons why you would want to do this, is that free wedding website, because it keeps it all combined right there for you. There's your registry, there's your website. People can log on, get everything. And they can do it from their phone. They can do it from their PC. Awesome. So to sign up and to receive your $50 credit, you have to go to zola.com/FRTV.
That's Zola, ZOLA.com/FRTV. Wedding Wire came out with 2018 wedding stats.
Yes, we're very excited to share these. I like this because it kind of shows us where this is going, where the wedding industry is going. 2018 engagement stats. The average cost for a female engagement ring is $5,000. Do you think that's right?
My husband would faint. My husband, because we'll be married 25 years this year, right? Mm-hmm. And I told him, since my original wedding band and engagement ring got stolen a long, long time ago, I wanted a new one. Well, we went and looked at some the other day.
Uh-oh.
He's like, you really want one? 40% of all engagements happen between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day.
We all knew that. Yeah.
Yes, that's what is called engagement season. 52% of individuals are surprised by the ring. 1 in 3 show their partners photos of the ring and or style they like. So if you know you're going to get engaged, leave hints like, oh, look what I found today. Anyway.
So here's a fun fact that they put in their stats. 3 out of 4 millennials even go beyond the ring and start planning their wedding prior to the proposal.
You're very confident.
Yes, you are. Popular female ring styles.
74% is the diamond cut. 53% is a halo setting, which is one of my favorites. And 50% is 1 to 2 carats.
Ooh, 1 to 2 carats. Top engagement dates. Christmas Day is the most popular day of the year to pop the question, followed by Valentine's Day and Christmas Eve. I cannot believe Valentine's Day is not number 1.
It's cliche. I can't believe New Year's Eve isn't on there.
Yeah, that's true. So 16% of engagements happen in December. And then February, No, not February. May is 9%. July is also 9%.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's really interesting. I never would have thought. And then March 20th, first day of spring, is also National Engagement Day. And I don't know why they've picked that because March is only at 7%. So it should be in December, but whatever. Yeah. Whoever chooses that, it's up to them, I guess.
Here's where social media comes in. 86% of couples announce their engagement on social media, 76% on Facebook, 35% on Instagram, and 12% on Twitter. Tells you how Twitter's fallen down in the ratings.
Yeah, it really has. It really has. I do still see a lot of engagement photos on Instagram because I look.
Yeah.
Fall is now the most popular season to get married, with roughly 40% of all weddings taking place during these months, which, yay, I love fall.
And I can see that, especially in the South, because it's, it's not June or July where it's 100 degrees and 90% humidity and you're sweating off all your makeup. So,
Top 5 wedding dates.
October 7th is number 1.
October 14th is number 2.
September 30th, October 21st, and November 11th.
November 15th is mine, so that's pretty close.
And September 22nd is my birthday, so if you want to honor me on your wedding day, there you go.
Planning. Let's talk about planning. Setting budgets, finding vendors, the biggest challenges, but we help you with that. So glad you're listening. Share us with your friends so we can help them too. The majority of today's planning is done online, which I consider us an online thing.
Resource.
Resource.
Yeah, we're an online resource.
So checklists, budget trackers, podcasts help to manage the process.
83% of the planning is done online now. 42% is on mobile or a tablet, and 41% is on desktop. So they're kind of, neck and neck there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, half and half, which is good. You can listen to the podcast on both, on your computer and on your tablet or mobile device. All right, the role of technology in weddings. Here we go.
36% of save the dates are sent online, which I think that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. That's
because
where it's going.
It's one thing where you can say, hey, we can use that money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just send out an email saying, hey, save this date.
Yeah, a pretty email even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 52% use a wedding planning app. Hey, I know you're a book person, but I like apps and I like online stuff.
62% create a wedding website.
Yay.
And we have an awesome sponsor called Appycouple. They do wedding websites. You can check them out too.
Yep. From ringtoveil.com/appy. APPY. 19% set up a group chat. Yeah, that kind of, I see that that's so low. Group chats are kind of hard. I mean,
and they get annoying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of several group chats right now, and sometimes I just have to shut them off.
Mm-hmm. You can mute them for a little bit just to give yourself a break.
And of course, the hashtag generation. 54% generate a wedding hashtag.
That's right. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Top sources for finding vendors. Couples largely utilize wedding-related websites for vendor discovery. And they also listen to their podcast hosts and who they tell you to call. Number 1 is wedding-related websites.
Number 2 is online searches.
Number 3 is Pinterest.
Number 4 is wedding shows and expos.
And number 5 is Facebook, which I have to maybe disagree with that number 5. I am a part of a lot of wedding groups, and they are always asking for referrals. So I don't know if this is a little bit skewed, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. And I can, Pinterest
sometimes
for finding vendors.
Sometimes.
I can understand that when you find ideas, but finding vendors through Pinterest.
I really think it's coming up, though. I really think people are starting to use it. I don't think it should be
number 3. I think they should switch the Pinterest and the Facebook.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Anyway. Social media used during planning.
Yes, this is our people.
69% use Pinterest. Of course, yes, Pinterest is the awesomest way to get ideas. Just make sure your Pinterest champagne ideas can turn into your actual
nightmare.
Remember that Pinterest ideas are your champagne budget.
Right.
And you can have the same look for a lot less price if you ask your vendors how to accomplish this for a lot less money. So just remember that.
That's right.
We have an episode somewhere about Pinterest.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So they're using Facebook 60%, Instagram 44%, YouTube 42%.
YouTube, I can, if they're looking for ideas on how to do DIY stuff, YouTube's a great resource. So I understand that.
And I looked up wedding planning on YouTube just like yesterday, I think it was, just to see what was out there and if we come up yet. I got to work on our YouTube keywords and all that stuff to get us to come back up. But anyway, number last is Snapchat with 27%. I don't know how you would plan a wedding using Snapchat. Really, I just don't. Please, somebody explain it to me because I do not get it.
On average, there are 13 vendors hired per wedding. There we go.
There you go.
On average, there are 13 vendors hired per wedding.
The top vendors hired are photography at 86%. Yeah, of course. The venue.
80% for the venue.
Makes
hair and
sense.
makeup. Yeah. Hair and makeup, 75%. 74% the wedding dress. 71% flowers. And 70% wedding cake.
Yep. That I agree with.
Yeah.
I would, hair and makeup's pretty high there, though.
Yeah.
I guess people are really getting into hiring them. So couples. The average age of today's marrying couple is 32. With a new generation redefining cultural and societal norms, we are seeing new behaviors grow in popularity, such as couples meeting online, a 16% increase in interracial marriages, and increase in mixed gender wedding parties.
We're all for mixed gendered wedding parties. I think it's cool. I like having a groomswoman.
Yeah.
And a man of honor.
I mean, if that's your best friend, don't leave them out. 33 is the average age of the groom.
31 is the average age of brides.
56% plan to buy a home within the next 2 years. Makes sense. That's how it is today.
70% change name to partners. So that's kind of, I think, gone down a lot.
It has. 1 in 4 met online. Fun.
54% dated less than 2 years.
Yeah, which has really risen since the days of that we got married.
Okay, we're skipping down a little bit. We're not going to go over the whole thing because it's long.
And you can get the link. Click on the link in the show notes from ringtoveil.com/167 or right there in your podcast app.
Average wedding cost. On average, a couple's budget nearly $16,000 for their wedding ceremony and reception, but spend closer to $27,000.
Yikes. Whatever. As millennials spend nearly $10K more than Generation X on their wedding, and those getting married for the first time spend 2 times more than those on their second marriage. Which makes sense. Yeah, you wouldn't, on your second marriage, you wouldn't spend as much on the big wedding.
All in average wedding cost. $5,000 for the engagement ring, $27,000 for ceremony and reception, and $4,000 for the honeymoon. So that total cost is $36,000.
I can't believe they put the honeymoon on there.
Well, I mean, that's, all in. But
yeah.
When we talk about wedding budgets, we're talking about ceremony and reception.
Right.
Yeah, we don't include the engagement ring and we don't include the honeymoon on any of our little cost guideline things we ever talk about. So
this is very important. Budget versus reality. Couples underestimate how much they'll spend on their wedding day by roughly 40%. And this is why we say it's so important to talk to your vendors, find out how much stuff costs, get a budget, and stick to it. And have your vendors help you.
The most expensive cities to get married in. This is kind of interesting. New York, of course, is number 1. We When you want to get married in New York, you want to get married at the Plaza.
Boston is number 2.
San Francisco is number 3.
Washington, D.C. is number 4. Is it really expensive over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Chicago is number 5.
And Seattle is not even on that list, so yay.
So that's, a little overview of Wedding Wire's wedding report. So look at it, look it over.
Yeah, tell us what you think. All right, and I also want to know what you think about this. I found an article about embedded diamond instead of engagement rings. So they embed a diamond in your finger instead of wearing a ring.
I'm sitting here quivering. Okay, I have tattoos, I have piercings. This I would not do at all.
For one thing, when I was reading this article, they were talking about snagging it, and that just sent me over the edge. I cannot even fathom the pain of that.
How does it stay in, for one thing?
Well, it's like a bar underneath, like from what I understand is they pierce it and that there's a bar that holds it in underneath. So it's,
most fingers are not very fat. Okay. I could, And
nope. Your fingers swell and they shrink. I just can't see how that would be comfortable. And so, I personally,
if anybody's done this, more power to you, because that ain't for me.
All right, let's get off that because I can't think of that. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
It's listener question time. So we have another question. We love questions. So if you have a question you need to answer, if you have a question you want answered by us, let us know. Just remember, we are not licensed psychologists. We are 2 ladies who've been in the wedding industry for a while. We are not giving you psychological advice.
Medical and psychological, yeah.
Hi, ladies. My fiancé and I have been planning a wedding for May 2019. Then recently realized that we had to get married for health insurance purposes. We did it at court. No ceremony, just paperwork, and still plan to have a wedding next year. It's not a secret that we did this, but I'm scared that people will be angry if we have a ceremony next year, since it won't be the real deal. Do you have any thoughts?
My thoughts on this are, if you want to have a ceremony, have a ceremony. I can't think of an instance why somebody would be mad at you for doing this.
She and I talked several times over the last few days, and she says, her family member's mad. They don't understand why she wants to have a wedding. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either.
If it gets to be too much drama, have a large party. Maybe do a vow renewal at the beginning. Just to appease some of it. But, do you? Don't.
Yeah. If you feel cheated out of having a wedding ceremony because you had to run to the court or whatever, have a wedding ceremony. And if people are mad, okay, they don't have to come. I know it might be kind of sad and but that's their choice. And if you want to have a wedding ceremony, have a wedding ceremony and have a fun reception too. Don't, or you can just invite certain people to the ceremony and then invite others to the reception. Really, there's a couple ways to do it. And I can't believe somebody would be mad at you for this. It's, this is life. This is how life works. Sometimes you have to do things and put things off and change things around. That's just life. So do it. Yeah. I say.
Do what you want to do. Talk to your fiance and, just do what you want to do. Plan that wedding.
Plan
a
wedding.
All out.
Everybody deserves to have a wedding. Okay, so that is it for the show. We need to remind you that we have a TeePublic storefront from ringtoveil.com/TEE. We'll take you there. If you have a design that you think we should share with our listeners and our TeePublic people, please let us know. We'd love to look through it and see if we can add it to our storefront too. We have a Facebook group, From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community. Join us. Be there. We love it. It's really fun. You'll love it too.
And subscribe to our podcast. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Apple, Google, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're everywhere. So just find us.
Thank you for the ratings and reviews. We love you all. Please share us with your friends. And until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on. Music provided by bensound.com.